All right. Well, you're trying to learn Arma? Oh, Arma's fun. I've played it with my friend a couple times. Sorry, guys. My Wi-Fi disconnected, dude. I'm so sorry. I know I'm probably going to lose all my viewership because not everyone is subscribed to the channel, so oh well. But Denver Center contacted us. Let's go ahead and go over to there. 127.65, 120... Why am I hearing the music twice? What's up, Captain Zemp? How you doing, man? Hold on. Oh, it's just a song, I guess. Alright, anyway. Let's go ahead and turn off the music. We'll get locked in here. 127.65. They're 127.65. Alright, here we go. Denver Center United, 856 heavy, flight level 390.
United 856 heavy, Denver Center, roger, welcome.
Ooh, lightning strike. Let's go. I'm so sorry, guys, for the Wi-Fi issues. I need to figure it out, but Cox's Wi-Fi is ass. I'll tell you guys that much. It's terrible. I do apologize for all the disconnection issues, but I appreciate you guys still being here. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you don't want to lose the live stream in case it disconnects again. I appreciate you guys very, very much. All right, let's go ahead and talk about our arrival into here. So it's going to be Ski 4, and we're going to be coming in on the bump. Oops, clicked out of it. Bump transition. I appreciate you guys for coming back. I know it's easy just to be like, oh, you disconnected and not come back. So I appreciate you guys for being here and coming back. So okay, we're at bump here, so we're going to go ahead and come in snow. And then Addison is going to be at 280 knots. If over flight level 270, and then we're going to go to K2, and it's going to be in between flight level 290 and 230, and then Clown at or below flight level 250 and 210, and then Ski at flight level 220 and flight level 190, and so we're going to go to Bingdi, and then we're going to come out here to Teller is going to be our last waypoint at 11,000. So once we hit, before our top of descent, I'll go ahead and set the bottom altitude of 11,000, and we'll just kind of descend via the SID once he gives us the clearance. All right. Cruising and chilling. You see the... Oh my God, the Giants got more points. Oh my God, the Giants are about to beat the Eagles. That's hilarious. That's cool to see all lightning strikes, though. That's fire.
Lufthansa 3479 Denver Center, climb and maintain flight level 400.
Maintain 400, 347 heavy.
It's crazy that there's lightning strikes, but according to the weather chart, there's no convective activity. Interesting. It's cool to see lightning strikes in the sim, though. I feel like you rarely get to see that.
November 1 Alpha Whiskey clear at red table, cross red table at 1-4000, cleared RNF Foxtrot approach to Aspen.
Okay, cleared direct red table and cleared for the RNAV Foxtrot approach into Aspen, November 1 Alpha Whiskey.
Lufthansa 2340 heavy Denver Center climb and maintain flight level 400.
400, Lufthansa 2340.
Guess we still got some time. I could play some more music.
And November 1 Alpha Whiskey, runway 15, clear to land, Aspen, wind 120 at 8.
Clear to land 15, November 1 Alpha Whiskey.
So what do you guys think about the sound pack so far? Anybody got any opinions on the sound pack from startup and all the sounds that you've been hearing so far? I don't have a price on it either, but I'm assuming it's going to be like $15 because that's what his other sound packs are. Do you think it would be worth it to upgrade this to the sound set?
November 8261 Hotel, turn right heading to 20 vector to final.
Right 220 vector to final. Okay. Denver Center split jet 50, flight level 240 for 430.
Split jet 50, Denver Center, roger, climb and maintain flight level 430.
Climb maintain 430, split jet 50.
Six, seven.
And November 8261 Hotel, turn right heading 260.
like 2-6 there, I think something like that.
I don't really stream. I started to earlier this year, but gave up. Hey man, it takes a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm there by any means, but it takes a little bit. You know, it takes a lot of talking to yourself with 0 viewers in the chat. I remember that for sure. I'm thankful now that when I usually go live, I at least have 1 person in the chat. I have some pretty loyal people that still watch. So I'm appreciative of that.
Airport,
and I hope I see more of you guys on streams and stuff.
Climb BS Sid, squawk 1440.
Good 4-4, that phrase get parts for Rube, that is climb BS Sid, squawk 1440, over.
American 735, reach back, correct call for taxi, runway 25 for departure.
So are the Giants booty cheeks or what? You're loading up 2024?
November 1 Alpha Whiskey, welcome.
Should we do a leg to Chicago, guys? What do you guys want to do? Should we do it?
Text Sparky via
Or should we call it there?
November 1 Alpha Whiskey, thanks.
Or we could go back to, like, I don't know, San Francisco or something?
November 8261 Hotel, descend and maintain 8,000.
Down to 8,000, just on call.
Let's see. I never tried VATSA before? You should, man. It's a lot of fun. Chris, man. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I really do appreciate that, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Shout out to Chris. Bro, are the Eagles, like, this game is so hard to tell. Is the Eagles bad, or are the Eagles bad, or is the Giants starting to get good? But the Giants lost to the Saints, so it's like confusing. I don't understand what this game is. I'll be honest. Can't see if you're on VATSIM, huh? Yeah, you can. You can see if I'm on VATSIM. I am on VATSIM right now. Eagles has just fumbled too? No way. Dude, are the Eagles low-key bad? Or have they been frauds the entire season? And it was only last week when the Broncos exposed them that they started to become bad again? I wasn't buying it. I knew the Eagles are kind of fraudulent, low-key. That's wild, though. That's wild. I'm not on regular servers. Can I see VATSIM users? I mean, you can. Do you mean like you want to be able to see like who's online? If you go to an internet browser and you look up VATSIM radar, you'll be able to see this, and you can see who's online and the other planes. So I'm right here, United 856. Just the flying part? Like, I'm not on regular service. Can I see VATSIM users? Oh, no, you can't. Yeah, Heathrow spotting. I think that is what he means. I don't think you can. If you're on VATSIM, you have to be logged into VATSIM to be able to see it. You could technically log in as an observer, but I don't think that'll, like, I think you'll still have to talk to ATC. I'm not 100% sure. Like, I don't know if you could technically connect that as an observer and just fly as an observer. But multiplayer in the game is different as a VATSIM player on VATSIM. To become an observer, you have to pass tests. You don't have to pass a test to become an observer. You could disconnect, connect, and you'll see connect as observer. You don't have to pass a test to do that, I don't think. Well, multiplayer and VATSIM are separate servers. Initial test for VATSIM? I've never had to do tests before I signed up.
64, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
I think you don't have to do it. Like, all the testing and stuff like that is optional. You don't actually have to do all that to join VATSIM.
November 82610.
At least in my experience, I've never had to do any of the tests or anything like that.
Right, taking 340, maintain 8,000 until established on the localizer, cleared ILS, runway 35, left approach.
Right to 340 and cleared ILS, runway 35 left for 6 minutes.
You did? I swear those were optional, but I guess maybe not. I don't know.
Denver.
Yeah, I could have changed. I don't know. I think they're optional, personally. I have no idea. It's been a while since I first signed up for VATSIM.
Exit 12.
Maybe our
our
second. I think it's pretty equidistant. Either Chicago, but I might want to try to go to
Yes, sir. We
San Francisco.
Have
Maybe we could go to San Francisco or something.
Exit jet 12.
Bozeman? Why is Bozeman all online?
Airport, Lens 1 departure to Lens, direct to the junction VOR.
That's so funny. Like, why is Bozeman on a random night?
Maintain 16,000. Squawk 6.
I wonder if they're just all friends.
4.
Okay, we're clear to.
I wonder if they're all friends that just decided to get on real quick.
15,000 and departures 6544 exit jet 12.
Exit jet 12, read back correct, 5 ready for taxi. It is echoes now, current just updated.
Alright, if we're doing a second leg, I might have to DoorDash some food. There's like tests for like certain organizations, but I'm talking about tests that you have to do to actually connect to the network. Yeah, no, 100%. Heat spotting, I've never had to take a test just to connect to the network. So, okay, that might be new then, because I don't remember having to take that. That's definitely new for me. Maybe I'm so old that I just didn't have to do that. They're probably doing that just to make sure trolls don't get in, you know? Also, guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure to join the Discord, ! Discord, if you guys want to join the Discord. Discord's probably where I have most, if not all, my updates on when I'm streaming or what the plans are for content. So make sure to go ahead and join that.
United 856 descend via the ski for arrival, Denver landing north.
Descend via the ski 4 arrival, Denver landing north in United 856. Okay, 11,000 feet is set. That's the bottom altitude for our star.
United 856. Additionally, you got traffic at your 11 o'clock, 30 miles, opposite direction at flight level 400. Pair of 8340s.
A pair of 8340s. We'll look out for the traffic. I believe we have them in sight though for United 859. 856. Yeah, United 856, we have those traffic in sight to our left.
United 856, roger.
There they are.
Center switch it to the route 12, go offline at this time. Appreciate service. Yeah.
There's a formation of two A340s. I live in the UK. It's 4 a.m. for me, but not used to flying in America, and the UK airspace is dead as it would.
Calling there. Say again.
Flown in America 5 times at best. Denver Center is an L. Why is Denver Center an L?
Denver Center, United 1412.
I haven't really flown in Europe too many times myself,
United
but I definitely
1412
should.
Denver Center, Roger. Break November 8261 Hotel.
Aviation lover, why you
runway
hating on that
land.
approach or center?
Clear to land, runway 35 left for 61 Hotel.
Why this guy?
United 1412 springs altimeter 303.
Do you have a beef with this dude?
Request.
3038, and let me look and see what we already got plugged in.
He was rude to one of your friends? Uh-oh. Ruh-roh.
Partner Flight 3162, Denver Center, Roger, welcome.
Denver Center, United 1412, we have 35 left already programmed.
United 1412, is that the ILS visual RNF?
Oh, the type of approach, I don't really care. Whatever you can give me, I'll take the visual, that's fine.
United 1412, fly present heading vectors for the visual approach, runway 35 left.
Alright, we'll fly present heading vectors for the visual 35 left, United 1412.
I'm actually so pissed that I can't use my Boeing
American
quadrant for Airbus planes because the
735,
detents are messed up. Looks like I'll have to spend money on extra hotels. Do you really have to spend extra money, or are you just making an excuse so you can spend the extra money? That's what I do sometimes, don't worry. Xbox Live is being extremely slow today. I'm struggling getting online to... Oh, Chris, do you use Xbox for Microsoft Flight Simulator? In that case, you can't use VATSIM.
Number Exit 12, ready to taxi.
Exit 12, runway 33, taxi via Alpha.
Let's revive Alpha, Exit 12.
Which I low-key think is a good thing. I think using VATSIM... I think VATSIM... If VATSIM was on the... what's it called? Was on Xbox, I think too many trolls would be on it. You have 2020... Oh, I got you. 2020 on Steam, but 2024 is on the Microsoft Store. Gotcha. Kind of, but the throttle literally goes full reverse when I'm on idle. And it gave me a headache. Did you try calibrating it with whatever plane you're using? I know there's a way to calibrate it with most of the planes in the sim.
November 8261 Hotel, welcome to Springs. You can turn left when able and taxi park via Alpha. Good night.
The Alpha, have a good night. Thanks for calling.
Oh my god. The Giants are about to upset the Eagles. That's hilarious. Dang, Phillies were just eliminated, and now the Eagles are getting that belt to ass. Yep. I guess it's not a good day for Philadelphia fans, huh? Bad day for Philly. The Airbus planes don't use the reverse thrust clicking thingies to activate reverse thrust. Oh. I usually don't put reverse thrust on my throttle, like, axis.
United 1412, descend and maintain 9,000.
9,000, United 1412.
Like, I just use a keyboard command for reverse thrust. This is easier sometimes.
American 735, a radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 370.
Number XJ 12, ready to go.
ExoJet 12, Aspen wind 140 at 7, runway 33, cleared for takeoff.
Let's work for takeoff, XJ 12.
United 1412, turn right heading 280.
Right heading 280, United 1412.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do, Heathrow spotting.
Denver Center, Spirit Wings 1535, passing through 17,700 for flight level 230.
Let's just wait easier because it doesn't get
Spirit
glitched
Wings
as much.
1535, Denver Center, climb and maintain flight level 380.
Up to 382, Spirit Wings 1535.
I don't have a HOTAS. I just literally have the SciTech throttles, which I don't recommend. They'd get the job done, but later down the road, I'm going to try to save for the Honeycomb Bravo. Microsoft servers are cooked. I wonder why. I wonder if it's because of the A340 or what. I used to use the Xbox controller for my flying, so I understand. Yeah.
12 on the 280 heading to Springs Airport will be at.
It's Xbox in general, really?
2
Damn.
o'clock. And at 1 miles report the field in sight.
We got the field in sight for United 1412.
Yeah, 1412, roger, clear visual approach runway 35 left.
Clear to visual approach runway 35 left, United 1412.
Alright, time to start looking at DoorDash options. This DoorDash order is brought to you by Chris. Thank you so much, Chris, for being a member. I'm trying 2020, and I bet I'll have no problem getting online. Yeah, then it's probably the Xbox, huh?
ExoJet 12, verify your squawking 6544.
No, XJ 12, we are, no, sorry about that. We'll, that fixed her.
So we got Raising Cane's. That could be an option. Taco Bell. That could be another option. Had pizza last night. Definitely don't want that. I could get a burger.
No, XJ 12 squawking the right code out of 1000 now for 60 feet.
Taco Bell is always my go-to for a late night. True.
Well, if you're ready to contact.
Should I rip a Taco Bell, boys?
West of the Aspen Airport, climb and maintain flight level 430.
Flight level 430, XJ 12.
Should I get Taco Bell or get a burger? What should the DoorDash be? It's so annoying DoorDash and Taco Bell sometimes, just because like it gets so expensive just for the DoorDash like delivery fees and all that, but it's convenient. So yeah, Heathrow, go ahead, try doing it. Grilled cheese burritos smack so hard. Oh yeah, dude, they do. All right, Chris, I think we should get, or at least I should get Taco Bell tonight. Is that the move? I ain't Taco Bell's a move. I usually get the Cravings box. It's like it's so good. It's like $10 for like a bunch of food. It's nice. I'll definitely get it, and I'll probably add on a grilled cheese burrito. Cause sometimes I don't eat the crunchy taco that it comes with, like the plain crunchy taco. So I'll just get a burrito instead of that. Well, he throws spotting. I mean, that's just part of it, man. When I go to Europe, it's kind of hard to kind of get that, to like understand routes and where to go and stuff like that. But I always look it up. I use FlightAware or other places. Get 2 double beef burritos and 1 good cheese burrito. Most of the that's what you get. Dude, the beefy 5-layer burrito is low key fire. I'll be honest.
Exodus 12, clear
The
direct
box,
Hammett.
the box that I get usually has a beefy 5-layer burrito. It has a chicken chalupa. It has the nacho cheese and chips, and then I get a grilled cheese burrito. So fire.
United 1412, wind 0303, runway 35
And then like a Baja Blast.
35 left, clear to land, United 1412.
Transatlantic is a 737. Oh, that's awesome, dude. That's fire. That is fire. Bad day in Philadelphia, 3417.
735, clear direct easy.
LA Center's online.
Direct DC, American 55.
All right, once we get on the ground, we'll vote to see where we want to go. I'm thinking either back to LA or San Francisco. We'll see. We were pissed when they removed the quesadillas, but I'm sure the grilled cheese burrito is the same thing almost. Yeah, I think it is basically the same thing, but quesadillas were good back in the day. I miss the tostadas sometimes. Like sometimes I used to get tostadas and they were good.
Contact Denver approach 120.35. Good night.
120.35. Have a good one. One 2035. Then let's go ahead. Denver approach United 856 descending out of flight level 240, descending via the ski 3.
United 856 heavy, Denver approach, Denver altimeter 3029er, expect ILS runway 34 right approach.
We'll expect the ILS runway 34 right approach, United 856.
United 856 heavy, Denver approach, expect ILS runway 34 right approach.
We'll expect the 34 right approach, United 856 heavy. $2020 loaded right up? Yeah, it must be the Xbox servers. The best thing about flying in America is IFR clearance being sent to you rather than waiting in a queue. That's true. That's true. That is nice.
Ground good, Erie Center, flight 1402, let's see the stand off
Frontier flight 1402, Denver departure. Do you have the bridge off your right? Frontier flight 1402, push and start on the Alpha Sierra approved base east, advise ready taxi.
All right, let's look at Taco Bell here. Hopefully it won't break the bank too much. Shout out to Chris for the membership, sponsoring the Taco Bell run. I want to do a 737 flight pretty much limited to Boeing anyway, if you have any recommendations. Like to do right now. Real-time traffic and it's crazy in Denver. We got the Supreme Lux box and a grilled cheese burrito. I think that's pretty good. It comes with a chicken chalupa and the beefy 5-layer burrito. I think it's pretty solid. What's up, Jacob Reviews? Hey, shout out Jacob Reviews and Chris. Chris and Jacob Reviews are sponsoring this Taco Bell DoorDash for their donations and memberships. Jacob had a $10 donation the other day, directly sponsoring this DoorDash run.
I feel the need.
Chris, all right, bro, relax.
For speed.
Chris, you already. Chris, you already not donate, but you already became a member. That was good enough, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you so much. Words can't describe how appreciative I am. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. W's in the chat for Chris. Attaboy, Chris, man. Oh, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Sorry, Heathrow, I left you hanging. 737, I mean, you could do like a short hop in California, like LA to San Francisco, or you could do like Vegas to LA is a popular one.
Runway 8, taxi via Alpha Sierra.
Only 50 more for Battlefield? That's true. That's true. We're on our way to DoorDash and get Battlefield. That's awesome, man. Maybe I'll get Battlefield and I'll do a members only stream, and anybody who gets a new membership, that'll go towards the Battlefield stream. Into San Fran, since I see some TikToks in the approach. Okay, you could do LA to San Fran. It's a pretty short flight, and usually Southwest or United does that flight. All right, below 18, we'll go ahead and get our lights on. Get the wing light on. Oh yeah, look at that. I appreciate you very much, Chris. You didn't have to do that, man. I appreciate it. If it wasn't so late, I'd definitely do a flight. Yeah, dude, no worries, man. I know it's getting late. But if you guys want to see, I still have the vote up, so if you guys want to see a second flight, that means you'll stick with me for the most part. For a second flight, we'll do it. We'll go out and do a second flight down to San Francisco or to LA. I got work at 5 o'clock in the morning, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it to hang out with you guys. Sounds good, Heathrow Spotting. If you guys haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys very, very much for being here, sticking with me throughout the internet issues. I do apologize for that. I know it's not really professional to have so many internet issues and reconnect and having multiple streams, but I appreciate you guys for sticking with me. What does Volanta actually do? Is it like a flight logger? Kind of. Basically like a flight logger. I'll show you more of it on the ground.
56 heavy cleared ILS runway 34 right approach.
Cleared ILS runway 34 right approach. United 350 or 856 heavy. All right, let's do auto brakes 2. We'll start to slow up here, and then we'll start programming. Let's go ahead and, before it yells at me about checklists, let's go ahead and do some checklists. So descent checklist, we could check all that. That's all good to go. We'll go normal. Approach checklist, altimeters are set. And this is landing checklist. Yeah, man, go ahead and experiment on this flight. Like I have Volanta up right now, tracking this flight, and I'll kind of show you what it is. I think this is Colorado Springs right here. Denver's gonna be over here, but it's not loaded in yet.
Denver departure, 7
All right,
Romeo
let's go
Charlie at the
ahead.
GA parking, ready for taxi.
Loaded in. I feel like 129 is so
Denver 7 Romeo Charlie,
slow.
squawk normal.
Squawk normal.
All right, cabin is ready for landing. All right, let's go ahead and I'll pause the music. We'll get locked in here.
Denver 7 Romeo Charlie, recycle transponder, squawk 1462.
Squawk 1462, recycle transponder for 7 Romeo Charlie.
Denver 7 Romeo Charlie, runway 35 left, taxi via Mike 10. Impression Mike Alpha.
Taxi via Mike Alpha for 7 Romeo Charlie 355.
All right, let's get some flaps out here. Hell yeah, Chris. Join the club. All right, flaps 5. Gosh, dude, the sound packs just make the plane so much better. Like, it feels like this is a new plane that just got released today, even though it's been out for a while. Like, just adding a sound pack to planes just... Man, dude, it just adds that much to it. It feels like a brand new plane. That's how I felt when the 737 one came out. Like, it just feels like it's a brand new plane that just got released.
Frontier Flight 1402, RNAV skidding, wind 150 at 8, runway 8 clear for takeoff.
100% Heathrow. 100%. Like, they just add that much more to it. And, like, I honestly didn't realize how much it added to it until the 737 one came out. Alright, we'll go ahead and arm the localizer here, and get my chart real quick. Let's see. 7,000 feet is where we want to go for the ILS. Yeah, I think they do have like challenges like that on the thing. You can knock that out over winter. Yeah, that's true.
Star 7 Romeo Charlie, turn left heading 245, wind 150 at 8, runway 35 left clear for takeoff.
7 Romeo Charlie, not ready yet. We're still getting to do a run up.
Star 7 Romeo Charlie, Roger, cancel takeoff clearance, hold short runway 35 left, advise ready for departure.
Romeo Charlie.
All right, go around altitude
Frontier Flight 1402, radar contact.
is...
Frontier Flight 1402,
5,800. Interesting.
Frontier Flight 1402, maintain flight level 230, 23,000.
Get some gear down for some drag.
United 856 Heavy, wind 15088, runway 34, right for the land.
34 right, clear to land. United 856 Heavy.
United 2806, information uniform, ready for push and start.
United 2806, Denver departure, push and start approved, push straight back, stop at the first line, advise ready to taxi.
Push to the first line, call for taxi 2806.
Alright, go flaps 30. See, I don't know why VREF is that low. I feel like it shouldn't be. Alright, we'll go ahead and set 5,800.
2,500.
Alright, there we go. Now we go ahead and put target a little bit above. There we go. Alright, here we go, guys. You're cleared to land. Jacob Reviews, bro. Thank you so much for another $5. That's $15 from you in the past week. Poop. I mean, hey, poop. Thank you so much, Jacob Reviews. I really appreciate that, brother. All right, here we go. At 1,000, I'll click it off autopilot and hand fly it. I could do it now, actually. I lied. And then let me... Can I click off? No, I can't. Whatever. Let me just...
Denver departure 7 Romeo Charlie, holding short
1,000.
35 left at Alpha, ready for departure. Denver 7 Romeo Charlie, runway 35 left, line up and wait, traffic landing parallel. Line up and wait 35 left for 7 Romeo Charlie. Frontier flight 1402, contact Denver Center 127.65, will see you.
$500. $400.
Little tailwind, huh? Got 9 knots of tailwind.
$300.
That's why it feels so bad. Holy crap, dude. We're getting tossed around with the tailwind.
$200. $100. 50, 30, 20, 10.
Number 7 Romeo Charlie, turn left heading
Jesus,
245,
I don't know why they...
wind
We're having
150,
10 knot
runway 35
tailwind.
left, clear for takeoff. Left heading 245, clear for takeoff, 35 left for 7 Romeo Charlie.
I don't know why we landed with a 10 knot tailwind. I mean, it's not unheard of, but it was definitely tossing us around a little bit. Definitely not the best. Dude, that Pratt & Whitney howl is just so good. Whoa, okay. Ah, stop yelling at me. We're good. Jesus Christ, man. Yelling at me for no reason. Yeah, dude, that was...
United 856 Heavy, welcome to Denver, right turn Foxtrot, stay parking.
Right turn Foxtrot and give me 1 second.
Number 7 Romeo Charlie, radar contact, altitude.
Let's see.
7 Romeo Charlie, crossing 6,400.
Bravo.
Number 7 Romeo Charlie, climb maintain 16,000.
Climb maintain 16,000, 7 Romeo Charlie.
United 2806 information, uniform ready for taxi.
United 2806, runway 8, taxi via Bravo Sierra Mike.
Bravo Sierra Mike 2806.
And United 856 parking at Bravo 32.
United 856 Heavy, taxi to the ramp by Foxtrot, Bravo Sierra.
Foxtrot Bravo Sierra, United 856. Alright, so
Romeo Charlie, clear direct
I do apologize. A little bit rough on that one. And I don't know how to get rid of this. It always comes up after I landed. It's so annoying. I thought I turned it off. Apparently I did.
November 7 Romeo Charlie, clear direct solar.
That's in the assistance? Oh. Let me look real quick. Settings?
November 427 Romeo
assistance.
Charlie, clear direct solar.
Taxi
Good solar
path.
for 47 Romeo Charlie.
Taxi path. ATC. Visual assistance. Flight path, taxi ribbon. I don't need any of those, right? Let's just turn all of that off. There we go. Thank you. Appreciate it, Chris. But like, this is why I argue on a hill as far as why Pratt & Whitney engines are better than the General Electric and Rolls-Royce on the 777. Just listen. The Pratt & Whitney howl. The Pratt & Whitney howl is so good. That's why the A220 has that howl. That's why like a lot of the Pratt & Whitney engines have that howl. It's like you're blowing over a Coke bottle. So good. Dude, my Taco Bell's already here. Holy crap. Alright, we'll also turn on the APU for us once we get there. Sorry that I stopped talking. I had to download. No worries, Baron. You're good. You're good, man. The landing wasn't all that, just because I feel like I'm going to blame the tailwind on it. Honestly, it could just be pilot error. That's my fault probably, but I'll blame the tailwind that we had coming in. We had like a 10 knot tailwind. For me, it doesn't seem like the passenger. Let me read his message to make sure I'm doing it right. Let's see. It says the cabin button, but it's not. Should probably start paying attention because he's gonna yell at me if we use the wrong taxiway. But I think we're good. I think we're just using Bravo Sierra. Still got a little bit of a ways. That was actually a nice landing in my opinion, especially with the tailwind. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm still trying to learn how to land the 777. I've been flying the 737 religiously, so flying a way bigger plane has been interesting to say the least. A little bit different. I mean, besides the A340, I just flew that too, but... Alright, we'll get settled in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get the plane ready. We'll turn it around. We'll either go to San Francisco or LAX. I'll put a poll in the chat for that. And we'll do the second leg. Yeah, I always do 737 ops for United Virtual. So that's like my more regularly scheduled streams is United ops and the 737. So if you're into that type of stuff, make sure to subscribe and stay around, and you'll be able to see me do those flights. San Francisco, maybe get intercepted by flight. True. True, true, true. Looks like there's a Cathay Pacific A340 over here. Hopefully they didn't just take my... No, they're next to me. They're Bravo 36.
Good evening. Frontier flight 3162 is out of flight level 222-100 with information India.
Frontier flight 3162, Denver approach. Expect ILS runway 34 right approach.
Expect ILS 34 right approach. Frontier flight 3162.
You'll definitely have time, Heath, though, because I still have to go downstairs get my food and stuff and set up for the next flight.
United 2006, RNAV pitting, wind 150 at 8, runway 8 clear for takeoff.
RNAV kidding, runway 8, clear for takeoff, United 2006.
Oh, it's A340-600. Interesting. Alright, let's turn off the taxi light. Alright, I don't see our marshaller. Since I don't see him, watch out for your ears, guys. I'm gonna go outside. Which one? Oops. Oh, it's right there. Wait for it. Yeah, I think the marshaller is inside the truck. We'll just have to marshal ourselves here to get to the right spot. It's gonna be this one right there. Oh, nope, a little bit more. All right, we'll go ahead and set the brakes and we'll shut them off. Oops, don't want that for slabs. We want to quest boarding. All right, there we go. Oh, yep, he's in the truck. All right, we'll go ahead and get seatbelt signs off. We'll get the beacon light off. And we'll ask for the ground power. We'll get the ground power on, and we'll turn off
Passing
the
6,200
APU.
feet for 2806.
United 2806, climbing change level 230.
230, 2806.
All right, there we go, guys. We made it to Denver.
Frontier Flight 3162, traffic 10 o'clock.
All right,
miles
here's what I'm going to do.
southbound.
Give me 1 second.
414,
Let's go ahead.
15,500.
We'll end the poll, so people did vote to do a second leg.
There's 7 Romeo Charlie traffic.
Let's do
2
a
o'clock,
second
10
poll.
miles eastbound, 320, 16,700.
7 Romeo Charlie looking for him.
All right, go ahead and start answering in the second poll, and then I'll be right back. I'm going to go get my food. And we'll go ahead and get started on the second flight. So I'll be right back. Thank you guys so much for being here. You're doing Denver to Dallas? Ooh, that'd be a nice flight. That'd be a good flight.
Traffic in sight, no factor.
What airplane I'm gonna do that with? All right, guys, I'll be right back. And I hope you guys have a good one. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm going to get my T-Bell, and we're going to have good vibes on the second flight.
504 Heavy Denver approach, verify information, India, Denver altimeter 3029, expect ILS only 34 right approach.
All right, 1 moment, let me get India up. Approach Denver, Denver approach United 504. We have India and 34 right, United 504.
Roger. Frontier Flight 3162, traffic no factor, cleared ILS only 34 right approach.
Clear for the 34 right approach for Frontier Flight 3162. Thank you.
Denver approach, American 4165. We have information, India. We're ready to taxi.
American 4165, Denver departure. Just to confirm, you're ready to taxi or ready to push?
Correction, ready to push, American 4165.
Frontier Flight 4165, push and start approved. Push straight back, stop at the first line, advise ready to taxi.
Pushing south, we'll call you back.
Air 7 Romeo Charlie, contact Denver Center 127.65.
27.65, 7 Romeo Charlie.
United 2806, contact Denver Center 127.65, we'll see you.
127.65, 2806.
Cathay 415, information uniform ready for push, Bravo 36.
Bravo 415, Denver depression, Cathay 415 heavy, Denver departure, squawk normal.
Cathay 415.
Denver approach, American 4165 ready to taxi at Charlie 53.
American 4165, runway 25, make a 180 to join Charlie November westbound, taxi via Charlie November Golf.
$180 Charlie November, then Charlie November Golf. Runway 25, American 4165.
Cathay 415 heavy, push and start approved, push straight back, stop at the first line, advise ready to taxi.
Alright, push through straight back, stop at the first line, call for taxi, Cathay 415 heavy.
United 504 heavy, just curious, what waypoint are you tracking towards right now?
Direct frag, United 504.
Thank you.
Alright boys, I'm back. Sorry. I went to the bathroom as well, so. Alright. Let's go ahead and first see what we got. 60% said go to LAX. Alright, we're going back to LAX then. Going back to LAX. Alright, let's see.
Denver approach, Emirates 259er heavy, descending via the, I believe it's a K-bar 4, arrival currently passing through around flight level 156.
Front through flight 3162, wind 150 at 8, runway 34 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 34 right, front of flight 3162.
Emirates 259 Super, Denver approach, expect ILS only 35 left approach. Emirates 259 Super, Denver approach, expect ILS 23.5 left approach.
What's up, Desi?
Expect
Currently washing my hair at
34
school, so
right approach for
popped in.
Emirates
Well, welcome,
259.
welcome. Welcome. All right, let's see. Going back to LAX. Go ahead, put that in here.
Emirates 259 Super, verify you're descending via the T-bar for arrival.
Affirmative for 259 Super.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Emirates 259 Super.
We'll disconnect, reconnect, reunited. 11:21 now. 11:21. Here we go, and go to pre-file.
And altitude maintain 14,000 for now.
Pre-file.
14,000. My
flight
apologies
plan.
for that. My bad.
Okay, flight plan is pre-filed. LA Center is still online. Let's go ahead and take a look at Volanta real quick. So this is Volanta, if you don't already know. Here is Volanta. We go ahead and start a new flight. And so this is kind of where you could track your flight. So we can import from SimBrief, or you could create your own flight plan on Volanta itself. And it also gives you kind of a map. So not everybody here is on VATSIM. Some of these people are just on Volanta. So there's kind of a bit of a difference, and you can go ahead and filter this out to different things. Like you could only show VATSIM airplanes or whatever. You go over here, you got like different challenges. You could schedule flights for yourself. You can look at different events. For us, we could look at the flights, so we could see that our landing here in Denver was a 242 frame rate, or not frame rate, but feet per minute. And yeah, so it has just different stuff. And for me, since I have Volanta Premium, I could go ahead and use it as an overlay. So it just makes it a lot easier for me. If you zoom into Denver, you're there. All right, let's see. Let's go to Denver, zoom in. Let's see, is that you? No. Is that you? Denver to San Francisco? No, no, wait, no, you said you're in the Delta. My fault. Hold on. You're in a Delta somewhere. Is this you? That's an American. Oh, right here. There you are. Delta. There you go.
Frontier Flight 3162, welcome to Denver, right turn Foxtrot, stay parked.
All right. Let's go ahead and we'll start programming everything. We're going to request new flight plan data.
Frontier Flight 3162.
We'll come to the init, index, ident, position. We'll go to route, and we'll go ahead and request. See, okay, now it works for some reason. So there we go. We're going to request this. We'll set the payload, set the fuel, and select the route. And we'll go ahead and hit checklist reset, if it'll let me.
Gas 415 ready taxi.
Normal, pre-flight, checklist reset. I don't know, whatever. My cat was being a pain and wouldn't lie down on my bed while I set up, so I'm not even in the sim yet. Oh, you're good, man.
25, yeah, Alpha November Golf.
Alright, I think we'll be departing runway 25.
504, have you currently off the transition, fly heading 020, join the localizer.
Left turn 020, join the
Right, let's go ahead,
localizer.
unload, import flight, import from SimBrief. Okay, import this. Let's see.
Approach
Denver.
United 504. Actually, I'm to the left of the approach
There's
here. I need
no
right or left.
ADIS information for
United
Denver right now for
504, Heavy,
VATSIM.
when I cleared you for the ILS from Teller, what that meant, there is a transition from Teller to the ILS only 34 right approach, and that's where I was expecting you to fly.
So departing in 125. Okay.
Sorry about that. United 504.
All right, we'll depart from runway 25. Departures, arrivals. Runway 2. Wait, hold on. Departures. There we go. Wait, no, this is all LAX departures. Wait, what the heck? Init, index, ident. K. LAX-DEN maybe? Do I have to put in Denver? For a reference airport? Because look, route, departures, arrivals. These are all LAX departures. What the heck? Departures. Bro, what? These are LAX arrivals. Here, let me come up here. Let me reset my IRSs maybe.
Cathay 415 Heavy give way to American 319 passing right to left on Golf.
Alright, we'll give way to the American A319 on Golf, Cathay 415 Heavy.
Maybe if I load it in, maybe it'll help.
4 Heavy in 160 at 11, runway 34 right to the land.
To the land 34 right, United 504 heavy.
Alright, we'll activate that, execute that maybe. And then we'll put this down here. Runway 25, departures, arrivals. There we go. This is better. Okay. We're going off of the Baylor 6 departure off of runway 25. That's fine there. And stay route transition. Route, next page. Our arrival into LAX is going to be the Angel 4. So departures, arrival, index, arrival is the Angel 4 to De Niro. And we'll do the ILS runway 25 left approach. From Angel, we're going to pick up the approach from Circus. Insert that. We'll go to legs page. Cross-check that, make sure everything is all correct, which it is. Perfect. We'll go to init ref. We'll go ahead and pick up the numbers. We'll go ahead and accept it. Everything looks good. 303.9. No. No, that's not it. Okay, hold on. Let's go back. Let's go setup. Payload, it's 386.4. 386.4. Put that in here. Go back. Go to fuel. Fuel to get down to LAX is going to be 390 or 39,472. So 39,472. That's already inputted in there. Perfect. We'll go back to route. Actually, back to index. Perf. And put the new 0 fuel weight. There we go. Everything else looks good. Thrust limitation. We'll just keep it the same. We'll do flaps 5. And put our CG. And make sure that we got our V speeds. We'll go to legs. We'll go to route data. We'll go ahead and load in our winds. Execute that. We'll go to VNav. Next page. Next page. We'll go ahead and get our forecast and we'll go ahead and load that in. And let's go ahead and get some ground services here and we'll go ahead and start the boarding process.
American 4165, RNAV foams, wind 160 at 11, runway 25 clear for takeoff.
American 4165, runway 25, clear for takeoff. Denver approach, can I hold short at Bravo 2 here for a second?
American 4165, if you're able to, can you make the right turn on to Bravo and then your first left turn and hold short of 25?
All right. That is looking all good. How are we doing out there, guys?
Holding short at Bravo.
We're still good?
American 4165, thank you.
Cathay 415 Heavy, RNAV foams with 160 at 11, runway 25, clear for takeoff.
I don't have...
RNAV foams, runway 25, clear for takeoff, Cathay 415 Heavy.
Don't have my clearance just yet, so we'll see if they'll give it to us. Might have to call them, maybe. Denver's giving me some performance issues. Okay, 42. Yeah, dude, Denver's giving me some issues. All right. Get the seatbelt sign on. That's fine. I think we're doing pretty good. Do your passengers on GSX disappear when they board? Yes, they do. I haven't messed with that setting too much though, because I know there's a way you can keep them on your plane, but I just haven't messed with the settings enough to be able to just do it. But especially for like wide body planes, I'm just gonna keep it off because I feel like the frames will be less intensive if I kept it off. Yeah, that's happened to me too, where like I put it in to say that I want them to stay, but then they disappear. So that's why I just stopped messing with it. I just was like, whatever. I'm not gonna mess with it too much.
United 504 Heavy, welcome to Denver. Right turn Foxtrot, stay parking.
We're taking Bravo 38, United 504.
Why is this happening? When I do my departure,
United 504 Heavy, taxi to the ramp by
it doesn't
Foxtrot,
change
Bravo
anything.
Sierra.
Look, departure, Baylor 6.
Foxtrot Bravo Sierra.
Even if I change this and do this,
Denver departure, American 4165 ready
it doesn't
to go.
change the route.
At, holding short at Bravo 2 for runway 25.
I don't know why. It's a glitch.
At Bravo 2, line up and wait.
I do Baylor
Line
6.
up and wait. American 4165.
And then look, it disappears. It's just making me go direct to Teru. It was doing this last time I flew the 777 yesterday.
Cathay 415 Heavy, climb maintains level 230.
So I had to manually input the waypoints. So I had to be like, okay, so the first waypoint's supposed to be BRKEM. And I had to do this. And then
American 4165, caution wait turbulence departing. Correction, caution wait turbulence departing A340, RNAV foams with 160 at 11, runway 25 at Bravo 2, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff for American 4165, thank you.
American 4165, verifying departure, RNAV foams.
TUULO. I don't know why it did this, dude.
RNAV to foams.
It's so annoying.
American 4165, copy.
And then Hilton, so HLTON. And then MTSUI. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a PMDG thing or what. Baylor. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or what. TEHRU. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I'm putting them in backwards, bro. I'm putting them in backwards. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I can fix this. Hold on. So, Baylor.
Okay.
American 4165, radar contact
is over here.
6,400, American 4165.
American 4165, climb and maintain, flight level 230.
Flight level 230, thank you.
Okay. Hold on. Damn, dude, this is all backwards. Frick, man. Okay. So then it's WAKIR here. And then it's TUULO here. And then it's Hilton, HHLTON here. Boom. And then MTSUI here. And then it's Baylor, BAYLR, Baylor. And then it's, there we go, here, boom. Perfect. All right, now everything should be programmed. Jeez, man. That was annoying. Let's see. So when I built my new PC a few months ago, I forgot to put the 737 Boris sound pack in, and I have it back now. I forgot what it sounds like, dude. It sounds amazing. Sounds so good. Just like this one, dude. All of his work is just so good. Okay, 1435 is a squawk. 1435. Up to flight level 400. Expect runway 25. Denver squawk clear. Beta 6. Okay, climb via SID. Departure frequency. Okay, everything's good. All right, put this up to 400 then. Probably don't have to contact him to push since it's an alleyway. How are we doing on the boarding process? Still boarding some people. All right. While they're boarding, I'm gonna have some food. Plus, they're still loading up the plane here. All right. If you guys don't mind, I'm gonna have some food real quick while we finish boarding and everything else.
Cathay 415 Heavy, departing my airspace to the west. No further ATC available. Radar service terminated for exchange approved. We'll see you.
Alright, over to advisory for Cathay 415 Heavy. You take care.
American 4165, departing my airspace to the west. No further ATC available. Radar service terminated for exchange approved. We'll see you.
Frequency change approved. American 4165. Thank you.
Attention all aircraft time 0418 Zulu, Denver D01, airspace now closed. No further ATC available. All aircraft on the ground in Denver monitor CTAP 124.3. All aircraft in satellite fields surrounding Denver monitor prospective CTAP frequencies. All aircraft overflying Denver D01 airspace monitor Unicom 122.8, class 12 airspace down effect. Have a good night.
Of course, everyone's getting offline. All right, 50 more people. If we haven't done so already, let's get the APU on. I can't get the passenger sounds to work. Interesting. Dude, I need to get out of Denver, dude. Apparently this is a really hard airport to run. AJ Brown had 14 points. Damn. Honestly, that's better than what he's been doing, so I'll take it. I'll take it. Do I take okay, anybody that knows football, I need help. Right now I have Rico Dowdle as my flex. Do we know if Chuba Hubbard and them are coming back? Because if so, I might have to put Roma Dunze as my flex. Alright, I think they're done boarding. And that's what that ding was. It was. Alright, let's go ahead and prepare for pushback departure. Yes. Sorry, guys. I'm talking to Boris about the sound pack. I have no idea. Yeah, Chris, dude, that's really confusing. I don't know who I should start, but I'll look up everything I need to look up tomorrow, or I could look it up once we're on cruise. Okay, let's go ahead and first we'll come over here, homepage, ground operations. We'll ground connections, I should say. We'll remove the chocks, which should close all the doors, which it looks like they're closed. We'll arm all the doors. Well, the cargo doors are not closed. They should be closing now. Let's see. Still open. I don't know. Which is, it's weird because the 777's been having issues with me in 2024. Like, cargo doors don't close when you use the iPad, I don't think. But like, watch, if I go over here and I use the FMC to close all the doors, it'll close the doors. But sometimes with the iPad, they closes and then it reopens.
Locking gear.
Okay, now they should be closed. Or arm all the doors. There we go. Should be better now. Alright, let's go do straight pushback.
Release parking brakes, please. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
All right, here we go. Let's go ahead. Let me cut off the music here, and we'll go ahead and start the engines for a second and last time tonight. You guys are ready?
Please set parking brake.
So good. All right, parking brake is set.
Unlocking gear.
We'll go ahead and start number 1 already. Let me make another wing view over here somewhere. Maybe I'll do like an economy plus seat, like over the engine right here.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Maybe I'll do this one right here.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Me too, Chris. I saw your screenshot. That was cool. There's a slat sounds. Really awesome. All right, parking brake could come off. We go ahead and give him the salute. All right, beacon light should have been on. And we'll go ahead and start our taxi. Can we get the APU off? That's fine. And everything else, we are all good. We're departing 17 left. All right, we're going over to runway 25 for me. Hydraulic? Oh, no, it's good. Okay. Alright, we'll do like a little southwest taxi here so we can get in the air. We're going to be fighting a headwind all the way down since we had the tailwind all the way up. I was telling Mike about the OLED monitors completely changed how night feels. Really? I don't know what my monitor is. I just know it's a 32-inch monitor. So it's nice for gaming and obviously for flight sim. And I know it's 1440p. Which I don't think I could go back to 1080p after having a 1440p monitor. I didn't think I would notice a difference, but you could definitely tell a difference. It's like a 1440p 32-inch monitor that has like 160 hertz. I got it like for like almost 50% off basically for Black Friday a couple years ago. I think it's like originally like $400 or something. But monitors are so expensive, it's crazy. Yeah, screenshots could be deceiving sometimes. Or like, you know, like they don't show you what you see sometimes. It's hard. Really? Yeah, the display must be insane then. Alright, cabin's ready. So LA Center's still online. We'll see by the time we get down there. I'm gonna guess and say that they'll be offline by the time we get there, but you know, who knows? Who knows? Sometimes there's centers in LAX that stay on a little bit late. A little late night session. I won't put it past them. Time to set my alarms for work. Early morning. My brother said he's getting Battlefield, so perhaps I'll get Battlefield. Everything you play is 4K? Oh my god, dude, that's amazing. You might get PTSD from Battlefield then, dude. Having those graphics. It might be too realistic. I think for the spool up and everything, we're going to go ahead and do it from behind the wing on this takeoff. Chris, are you offline or are you on VATSIM as well? Alright, here we go. Nice. You don't use VATSIM? I gotcha. Yeah, dude, the howls from behind the wings sound so good as well. Okay, I should probably pay attention before we get off the runway.
V1.
Rotate. Files ready to climb, gear up. You know what I also can't wait for on this plane is for Parallel 42 to get their effects into the 2024 simulator. I feel like those effects plus the sound pack would be crazy for this plane. Would make it crazy nice. Alright, let's help out the plane by just going direct. There we go. Nice climb out. Maybe I should get like a Green Dot video. If you don't already know who Green Dot is, he's an amazing YouTuber. He does like, if you ever watched like air crash investigations, he does like that, but like in a simulator version. It's pretty cool. Like his editing and stuff that he does, it's really good. So let's see. See, what should we do? Let's see. Air Canada 797, a Virgin A340 flight. That'll be interesting since the A340 just came out. Kind of leaning towards the A340 flight. I think that'd be a good one. Ooh, or the United Airlines terrifying dive. I heard about that and when they departed, I think it was Maui, but I never heard like why it happened. So I guess this would be a good one to watch.
Days before Christmas in 2022, a United Airlines Boeing.
Damn, dude, that was 2022. I feel like that was just yesterday. That's crazy. Like this just happened, but that's already 3 years ago.
777 careens towards the ocean just seconds after takeoff from Hawaii. Alarms blare in the cockpit, but the pilots are utterly confused as to what is happening. Will they be able to pull their massive plane out of its terrifying dive, or is it already too late for them and their 271 passengers? This is a story of confusion, distraction, and above all, it's a story about what can happen when our expectations don't match reality. This is the story of United Airlines Flight 1722. On the afternoon of December 18th, 2022, 271 passengers and 10 crew boarded a United Airlines Boeing 777 at Maui's Kahului Airport in Hawaii. They were bound for San Francisco, a 5-hour journey across the blue expanse of the Pacific Ocean. A lot of these kinds of videos, even some of my own, talk about how the ill-fated flight in question started out just as any other, that all was routine and so on. But with Flight 1722, that was not the case. In fact, by the time the pilots had reached the aircraft that afternoon, they already knew that they were in for an unusual departure. Before even arriving at the airport, the captain had received a thorough briefing from the dispatcher about the severe weather which had been battering the island. So bad was this weather that as the first officer was carrying out his external inspection of the aircraft, he received a text message from a friend telling him that another aircraft on its way into Honolulu that morning had declared an emergency after experiencing turbulence so severe that the pilots had temporarily lost control of their aircraft. When that plane finally landed, 20 passengers were taken to hospital, 11 of whom were in serious condition. In other words, from the very outset of this flight, the pilots knew that things were a little out of the ordinary. When they reached the aircraft, they told the flight attendants that they should remain seated throughout the climb for their own safety. The captain of Flight 1722 had been with United Airlines for years. Now aged 55, he had accumulated almost 20,000 flying hours, 5,000 of which were in the Boeing 777. 20,000 hours is a lot, even for a pilot of his age. Before upgrading to the position of 777 captain, he had spent a few years as a captain on United's short-haul Airbus fleet. And this switch from Airbus to Boeing will end up being an important consideration in the events which we're about to see. The first officer, by comparison, was new to United Airlines and new to the 777. He had just 120 hours on the aircraft, and just over 5,000 hours on all planes in total. Before joining United, he had been with Hawaiian Airways, and he was familiar enough with the weather around the Hawaiian Islands to know that this day was particularly rough. At about 2:30 that afternoon, Flight 1722 pushed back from the gate at Maui. The 271 passengers settled in for the 5-hour journey to San Francisco. Despite the weather, they had every reason to believe that they were in safe hands. United Airlines and the Boeing 777 both had excellent safety records. The passengers had no idea that just moments after takeoff, things would start to go very wrong in the cockpit. As the captain taxied through the lashing rain out to runway 02 at Maui, he and the first officer discussed the weather they would be facing once they got airborne. The real danger on this day was not the rain, but the wind, or more specifically, wind shear. Wind shear is a dangerous weather phenomenon whereby the wind rapidly changes its speed or direction over a short distance. It can be deadly to aircraft because the whole reason planes fly in the first place is by going fast enough through the air that the air can support them. If the wind suddenly starts coming from behind the aircraft, its speed can get so slow that it simply falls out of the sky like a dead weight. If this happens low to the ground, like just after takeoff, there may not be enough room for the pilots to save their aircraft. And sure enough, as the pilots made their way to the runway, the controller relayed that he had received multiple reports from pilots of low-level wind shear. That is, wind shear close to the ground. This phenomenon has taken many lives over the years. The pilots were on high alert. To prepare for a possible encounter with the phenomenon, the captain briefed the first officer on the wind shear escape maneuver, which involved pushing the engines to maximum thrust and pulling the plane's nose to 15 degrees above the horizon. They fully expected that they may have to carry out this maneuver after takeoff. But preparing for wind shear involves more than just carrying out briefings. As well as this, the captain decided to extend the flaps to 20 degrees for the takeoff. Generally, 777 pilots use flap 15 for takeoff. But on this day, the extra notch of flaps would give the plane an additional margin of safety, allowing it to fly more slowly if the wind suddenly changed. On top of this, he opted to use maximum power for takeoff, rather than the reduced power setting normally used to save wear and tear on the engines. He would need every ounce of power he could get for this takeoff. As far as the story of Flight 1722 goes, this flap and thrust setting is not just a minor detail. Rather, it will play a crucial part in the events which we're now about to see. At about 2:45 that afternoon, the captain lined the massive 777 up on the runway. He put the windshield wipers on high and turned on the weather radar, which scanned a cone-shaped section of sky in front of and above the aircraft, and the picture it painted told him that things wouldn't get easier once he was airborne. The two pilots were now poised to go. Strapped to the wings of their 777 were the two most powerful jet engines ever built, giving almost 4 Titanics worth of thrust. Once he had received takeoff clearance, the captain spooled the engines up to their maximum thrust setting, unleashing this incredible power. Things were now about to happen really quickly. Way more quickly, in fact, than the pilots were used to. Within moments, the engines, sucking in 7 metric tons of air per second, powered the aircraft to its takeoff speed of about 260 kilometers per hour. The captain pulled back on his control column and lifted the plane into the murky sky. For the first few seconds, the climb was normal. As expected, the pilots saw that their airspeed was fluctuating. This meant that the air was becoming more unstable. The captain was primed to carry out the wind shear escape maneuver at a moment's notice. While he flew the plane, the first officer was busy acting as the so-called pilot not flying. In this role, his duties were to handle radio communications with air traffic control, to monitor the captain's flying, and to clean up the aircraft as it climbed out. Cleaning up the aircraft involves things like raising the gear and the flaps to make the plane more streamlined for high-speed flight. After many hours of flying the same aircraft, pilots settle into a kind of a rhythm for this process. There is a cadence they come to expect, in terms of what's called the flap retraction schedule. But on this flight, because the pilots were using maximum engine power and flaps 20, this rhythm had been thrown off. And the pilots, with their focus centered on the possibility of wind shear, were not ready to face that. As the plane reached about 1,000 feet, the captain lowered the nose slightly to allow the aircraft to accelerate. But if the plane got too fast, as indicated by these red markers here, the force of the air would damage the flaps. To prevent this, and to allow the plane to accelerate further, the captain told the first officer to raise the flaps. And it is here where things started to go wrong. Pilots normally use flaps 15 for takeoff on the 777, and they're used to retracting them 1 notch at a time, first to flaps 5, then to flaps 1, and then fully up. But according to the Boeing 777's manuals, when taking off with flaps 20, pilots should first retract the flaps 2 notches directly to flaps 5 and to bypass flaps 15 altogether. But on this flight, it's disputed whether the captain told the first officer to raise the flaps to 15 degrees or to 5 degrees. The captain thought he had said flaps 5, while the first officer thought he said flaps 15. In any case, as the plane accelerated, the first officer raised the flaps by 1 notch to 15 degrees, and then contacted departure control on the radio. This miscommunication about the flap setting was fundamentally a pretty minor one. After all, it would only be a few moments before the captain would tell the first officer to move the flaps up to the next notch. But what made this error so insidiously consequential is that the captain now had a completely false picture in his head about the plane's configuration. His expectations were now diverging from reality, and the confusion this would create would now endanger the lives of all 281 people on board. When the first officer raised the flaps to 15 degrees, the red overspeed markings on the captain's primary flight display only went up by a few knots. Look here, at flaps 20, the captain couldn't fly faster than 190 knots without risking damage to the flaps. When the first officer raised the flaps to 15 degrees, the overspeed section only went up by 20 knots to about 210 knots, meaning that the captain would risk damaging the flaps if he just went 20 knots faster. The captain was expecting this red overspeed section to go up significantly, because with flaps 5, which he thought he had called for, it takes a lot more speed to cause damage to the flaps. So, now the captain was in a situation where his plane was accelerating and was about to go too fast for the flaps. He didn't understand why this was happening. Was there a problem with the flaps? Were the violent wind conditions outside playing a role? To prevent the plane from going too fast, he pulled back on the thrust lever slightly. But this only helped so much. The plane continued to accelerate. As all of this was happening, the first officer was dialing in the air traffic controller's clearance for the flight to climb to an altitude of 16,000 feet. The controller also told him that there was heavy rain in every direction around the aircraft, and that he could deviate.
This dude's
as
name is
needed
Green
to
Dot,
avoid the weather.
and he does like air crash investigations, but he narrates and creates them in the flight simulator. So this is like a real life United flight that had an issue, and yeah, I don't know, just something to watch.
Quickly checked the flap indicator on his central display, and saw that they were set not at 5 degrees, as he had recalled asking for, but at 15 degrees. He immediately told the first officer to retract the flaps to 5 degrees, which he then did. But this didn't solve the problem. In fact, the plane kept accelerating. Deep inside the clouds, with no way to see outside their plane, there was only one way for the pilots to see the terrifying truth. Their primary flight display here showed that their aircraft was beginning to pitch down. In fact, its nose had just begun to dip below the horizon. Their 777 had started to enter a rapid descent. And this is where we return to a small detail I mentioned.
Your parking brake or like your speed
which may
brakes?
not be such a small detail after all. The captain of Flight 1722 had been flying Airbus aircraft for United Airlines for a few years before switching to the Boeing 777. A big difference between Boeing and Airbus aircraft is in how they handle pitch inputs from the pilots. On an Airbus plane, when a pilot wants to reduce the pitch attitude from, say, 10 degrees nose up to 5 degrees nose up, they simply push their side stick forwards until the plane is at 5 degrees pitch attitude and return the side stick to neutral. The plane will then maintain that pitch attitude all by itself. For this reason, Airbus aircraft are said to be pitch stable. But Boeing aircraft, like the 777, are not pitch stable. They do not automatically maintain the pitch attitude set by the pilots. What this meant for Flight 1722 is that as the captain focused his attention on the central display, trying to see whether there was a problem with the flaps, he was, without realizing it, easing his control column forwards towards the neutral position. In an Airbus, this would be no problem, as the plane would maintain the pitch attitude he had previously set. But in the Boeing 777, this more neutral control input allowed the plane's nose to lower. In all probability, in this stressful and unfamiliar situation, the captain simply reverted to basic flying instincts he had been honing for years on Airbus aircraft, and without realizing it, he allowed the plane's nose to drop. The first officer saw the plane's nose dropping, but he was confused. Clearly, the captain was having trouble controlling the plane's airspeed, as the overspeed warning was still sounding. But what about the pitch of the plane? Why did the captain appear to be lowering the plane's nose and putting it into a dive? Could the first officer's instruments be broken? The captain was also perplexed.
Yeah, but he has a yoke in his lap. Can't you see that he's pushing down the nose?
The plane was now more than 20 knots faster than it should have been going, and the flaps were at serious risk of being damaged. Second by second, the nose got lower, and the plane's descent quickened. The captain ordered the first officer to retract the flaps further, to 1 degree, completely oblivious to the true cause of his ever-increasing speed. He was now inadvertently beginning to push the nose over, powering the massive plane towards the ocean below. The first officer retracted the flaps to 1 degree, but the warning continued. He was utterly confused. What was the captain doing with the plane? Why was he overspeeding it, and yet keeping the engines nearly at climb thrust? Was the storm causing the plane to behave in this way? Were his instruments wrong? He looked over at the captain's instruments, but they told the same story as his own. The plane was now in a dramatic nose-down position, pointing more than 10 degrees below the horizon, and descending at a horrific rate of 8,000 feet per minute.
I'm so confused.
At this rate,
I understand that you're in the middle of a cloud and that you're really confused on everything, right? And how this dude is trying to put it back to neutral. But how do you not feel the sinking in your stomach that you're descending? And no matter how it's caused, whether that be the storm that they're in, or whether it be pilot error, whether it be anything, clearly you don't want your plane to be descending in this moment, right? You're trying to climb out. So why wouldn't you want to pull back on the yoke for you to climb? 1. 2, you see that you're overspeeding and you're clearly having enough speed to retract the flaps, so why aren't we retracting it all the way up to like clean, all the way up to fully up? And clearly you're descending so fast that you're accelerating. So how about instead of, increasing your speed, you pitch up and you exchange that speed for a climb? Since you're descending and you don't want to descend, since you want to climb and you're over speed, pitch up more. I'm so confused.
They would plunge into the ocean in less than 10 seconds. In the cabin, the passengers were oblivious to what was happening up front. They didn't know that their lives were now in grave danger, not because of turbulence, but because of a terrible confusion up in the cockpit. The massive plane screamed down through the clouds, diving for the ocean below. Just at that moment, as the first officer was looking over at the captain, he caught sight, out of the corner of his eye, of a cloud move rapidly past the aircraft. To both pilots' horror, they were now face to face with the Pacific Ocean. They were powering towards it at a speed of more than 550 kilometers per hour. The first officer shouted at the captain to pull the plane up. The captain had mere seconds to react. He yanked back on his control column, heaving the gargantuan aircraft's nose up. He quickly pulled the power back to idle to allow the plane to round this vertical corner as quickly as possible. The passengers and crew were pressed violently into their seats as the plane bottomed out just 750 feet from the surface of the ocean. The length of the 777 is 210 feet. Flight 1722 was less than 4 times its own length from smashing into the Pacific Ocean. The terrain alarm sounded loudly in the cockpit, alerting the pilots that they were just moments away from colliding with the sea. They watched their instruments anxiously as the plane pulled out of its descent and began rocketing skywards. The captain slammed the engines to maximum thrust and brought the plane's nose to 20 degrees above the horizon. He was now carrying out the terrain escape maneuver, a close cousin of the wind shear escape maneuver he had been planning to use all day. The passengers clung to their seats, some screaming as the plane shook, its engines roaring. Within seconds, the plane was shooting upwards at a rate of more than 8,000 feet per minute. It was pandemonium for everyone on board. After a few tense moments, the plane was safely away from the water. The captain eased forwards on the control column, reduced power on the engines, and re-established the plane on its normal climb profile. The 2 pilots were shaken. They were the only ones on board who had a full sense of what had just happened. The passengers and flight attendants knew that something unusual had taken place, but they had no idea quite how close they had come to disaster. Once the captain had the lead flight attendant confirm that none of the passengers were injured, and that there appeared to be no damage to the aircraft, he decided to continue the flight to San Francisco. 4.5 hours later, after landing at San Francisco, the pilots reported the incident to United Airlines. But incredibly, we wouldn't even know about it were it not for the fact that it was stumbled upon 2 months after it had taken place, on Flight Radar 24, and reported on by the aviation news site The Air Current. United Airlines had determined that the incident didn't need to be reported to the National Transportation Safety Board because it didn't meet their reporting criteria, which stated that somebody had to have been injured or that there had to have been damage to the aircraft. By this point, the cockpit voice recorder had long been overwritten. As a result of this incident, the pilots of the flight were given additional training, but a question remains as to whether this is enough to prevent similar occurrences in future. Is this near disaster a once-off, or, combined with a strikingly similar event involving a Qatar Airways Boeing 787 in January of 2023, and an Emirates 777 incident in December of 2021, which I've covered on this channel, is it reasonable to ask whether these failures in basic airmanship are symptoms of a broader issue in pilot training and airline practice? Is this just the tip of the iceberg? The near crash of Flight 1722 is a lesson in how quickly things can go wrong in an aircraft, even with all of the modern safeguards against accidents. A simple loss of situational awareness by the captain, combined with poor weather, somewhat unusual aircraft configuration, and a miscommunication around flap setting, nearly caused a disaster. If this flight had taken place at night time, or if the cloud base had been lower, or if the captain had reacted even just seconds later than he did, this could very well have become the single worst air disaster in US history by passenger fatalities. It's an open question as to whether the right lessons will be taken from this and other similar incidents in recent years, or whether it will take something more serious to spur the action required.
Did not participate, did not participate.
Early access to ad-free videos here, and if you'd like to watch more, there's a playlist just here. Thanks for watching, and see you for the next.
Chuba Hubbard's still not participating. Huh. I wonder if that means that Dowdle will play. Maybe. Hopefully he does. Yep, LA Center's got offline. Damn, but Oakland's popping. Oh my gosh. How's everyone doing today? Everyone's still locking in? Oh. Yep. I knew that was going to happen. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. We're okay. There's a lightning strike over here. Brace, brace. Nah, we'll be alright. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be tired tomorrow. Oh well. I give what the people want. If the people wanted a second leg, I gave them it. You got 250 left to go. We got 344 miles to go. So you'll definitely get to DFW before we get to LAX. $170. That's not too bad. You're gonna get to Dallas Fort Worth in like no time. 71 knot headwind is so deadly right now, Chris. I hate this. You set up the live stream just to test it out. Hey, man, there you go. That's how it starts. Test out a live stream, test out the setup, mic, audio, and then you're golden from there. you were rushing things with the stream, my landing was a little chaotic. Hey man, it happens. We're almost down. Let's see. 200. Oh, it's standard 2992. Nice. We'll go ahead and set that. $2,992. We'll get all the beautiful lights on. It's already 11:30 and I have to wake up by 5 tomorrow. Or no, I have to wake up by 4:30 tomorrow. But this sound pack is just too good. Everybody else here besides Chris? It says we have 5 viewers, and I feel like it's been pretty consistent with 5 viewers since we left Denver. Who else is joining us this late? Time to land, Jacob. Yes, sir. Should I do replay mode on this one so we could rewatch it? Nah, we'll just land and taxi to the gate. Alright. Yeah, it's 11:30 here, and I'm waking up at 4:30 a.m. tomorrow to go to work, so. I appreciate you guys for staying here, though. I appreciate it very, very much. But hey, you guys wanted one more leg, so I wanted to give you guys what you guys wanted. Hey, what's up, D1 Aviator? Just catching the last landing. It's a good night for me. It's 11:31 p.m. my time. Happy Friday? Yeah, I do got work. I work and I don't even want to count out the hours until I have to go to work. But today for me is still Thursday.
2500.
Oh yeah, it's good night for me. I have to wake up at 4:30 my time. It's going great, D1 Aviator. It's going fantastic. It's a lot of fun to be working for them. I'll definitely be taking a nap after work tomorrow. But I still have to film. I'm filming a video of comparing the different sounds from the default PMDG to the sound set, so I have to grind that out because I'm trying to get that out before the pack is released. But I don't even know when the pack is going to be released, to be honest. Boris didn't give a date yet. So the same kind of video I made with the 737, if you remember from back in the day, I'll do that kind of same ordeal with the 777. Yeah, I'm trying to film it right now. Obviously it's a lot, right? Because with the 737 it was only one plane. So with this it's a lot harder because there's 3 different engine variants. So as far as like doing the startup sounds and the takeoff rolls and all that, it's going to take a little bit to make. So I'll try to do it as fast as possible, but also I kind of want to make it a little bit better quality than just quickly putting it together. Yeah, dude, this sound set's amazing. You could go back in the stream to hear the takeoff rolls and the startup sounds, dude. They're awesome. We landed in Denver early in the stream with a tailwind. Hopefully this landing would be better, since there's not going to be a tailwind.
$500. $400. $300. $200. $100. $50. $30. $20. $10.
Unfortunately, I didn't start the replay tool. My landings at the 777 are a little rough because I've been used to the 737, so it's a little bit different as far as when to flare and stuff. Oops. It would help to steer without the... But when you kind of hear the Pratt & Whitney, that's why I want to do the Pratt & Whitney. For me, the Pratt & Whitney is one of the better engines for the 777. Just like listen to the howl when you spool up. Bro, I'm so bad at landing the A320 even though I've been flying it forever. Yeah, it's hard. Because like each plane has their own way of, you know, when to flare and stuff. I've been so used to the 737, which has a low wheelbase, so it's kind of hard. I flare like too early or too late sometimes. Hey, who knows, D1 Aviator? If I'm if I switch to the 777 for United Virtual, maybe I'll do some 777 ops down to Australia and New Zealand. Good night, Jacob Reviews. Thank you so much for being here, man. Appreciate your $5 donation and the $10 donation the other day. Appreciate you, bro. And then one day all goes well, you come down here as a pilot in real life? Exactly, man. Exactly. 100%. Alright, we'll go ahead and get those off, get the logo light off. You go ahead and get the APU on. Hell yeah, D1 Navy, that'll be awesome. Alright, I'm gonna go outside real quick, so watch your ears, I might get loud. You started your recreational pilot's license theory, but I'm also thinking about just going straight PPL. Yeah, man. Hell yeah, man. Go for it. Alright, our gate's coming up here, so just... Oh my god, dude. Then, hold on. Let me hit the brakes real quick. Because our gate's right here. So, I just want to do this real quick. Just listen. Ready? Yeah, let me hold the brakes. Let me hold the brakes. Let me let it idle down. I'm just gonna, for you D1 Aviator, I'm just gonna do a quick spool up to take off thrust while holding the brakes. So these are the Pratt & Whitneys, man. Maybe in another stream I'll do the GEs, and then we'll get the Rolls Royces out as well. I might stream tomorrow night. Oops. Not that. Taxi light off. Alright, we'll pull into the jetway, or to the gate here. Yeah, dude, the 777-300ER is going to sound nice. Tomorrow we might pull up the Rolls Royce. I might do a stream with the Friday night operations down in Bogota. I might do a 777 flight to Bogota in the American 777. I know there's other streamers that are doing that flight too, so I might join them. Let's see. Let's hear the shutdown from outside. So we'll go ahead and hit the brakes. And then let me get this ready. And then my favorite would probably be this one. This and the 300 is probably like a really close battle. I just love the Pratt & Whitney United 777s. Just because it's the only 777 I've flown on. I've only ever flown on one 777 in my life, and that was a Pratt & Whitney 777 200ER from LAX to Dulles. So I guess it's just nostalgic. Alright, we'll go ahead and turn off the... We'll turn off the beacon light. Yeah, dude, with the sound pack and everything, I'm thinking about switching from the 737 to the 777 on United Virtual. Do a lot more long hauls. Do some long hauls. Visit more countries in the sim, because there's a bunch of places I've never really been to or I haven't been to in a long time. Like, for example, China. I don't think I've ever been to Hong Kong or like Taipei or the Philippines or like any of those places in this, even in the sim. And there's a lot of places in Europe I still have to go to, so.
Passengers deboarding starting.
But there you go. Alright, let's see what that landing rate was. 219. So I've been in the 200s recently. So the A340 flight, I did 232. The 777. This was a 777-300ER. I came in from Frankfurt to San Francisco. That was a long ass flight. 11-hour flight. That was. 240, 242, and then 219. Can you hear the passenger? Unfortunately, I talked to Boris. It's not working right now in 2024. It's a glitch. So he's going to be fixing that. But I told him about it while I was streaming, and he said, yeah, it's a 2024 thing, I guess. But that's the only thing that's not working right now. Like, for example, if you hit flight, that's the headphone simulation. But this one's supposed to be the cabin, and it's not working, unfortunately. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know what else to show you in the short time that we have. But we'll definitely do another stream tomorrow. Yeah, I guess that's true. Coming from a 7.3, it's not too bad. Alright, D1 Aviator and everyone else, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll definitely be live tomorrow. Don't know what time though, so I'll keep you guys updated in the Discord. So if you haven't already, make sure to go to the Discord and join. Let's see. And join ! Discord if you haven't already, to join the Discord. And yeah, I appreciate you guys very, very much. Like I said, I will be making a video comparing the two sound sets from the default PMDG and this one, so you guys can really get an idea of whether or not it's going to be worth it for you to pick up the new sound set. I'm going to guess that it's probably going to be like $15 because that's what all the other sound packs are. So that's just kind of what I would tell you to prepare for, basically. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this live stream. I'll hope to see you guys tomorrow. And